Yo, 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 your boy So Sick Nash fan is back from SWC with Chun-Li this time. Let's get it, let's go. Y'all already know how excited I am for this character. This is my legacy character. I've played her in literally all the games that she's available in. I usually gravitate towards Chun-Li. So I am here to tell you that if you are also a legacy Chun-Li player, you are going to feel right at home with her in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. She has a lot of the same buttons, a lot of the same like pressure sequences, and just in general her neutral feels very like Chun-Li-esque even in City of the Wolves. So first and foremost, I want to talk about some of her command normals because that's the first thing that's going to be the most, I would say, difficult part to get into, because all of her normals are like locked behind commands. So like she has forward A, and I haven't seen this normal since like what, 3S. And like this forward A is really good because not only is it like a ranged poke, but it is an auto space trap, and I think that that's really good in any game like this. You see that Mai just whiffed that crouch A. So if I do it twice, I just get a wild punish, right? I can do 10 show kicks, I can do legs. And just something as simple as that because of how that space is out. And that's like a really, really good button just in general because of the range of it, and it creates an auto space trap. So definitely a move you want to use. She has down forward A, which is her overhead from Street Fighter 6. Now, this overhead is punishable, like most overheads in this game. So, like, think about Marco. If he does do overhead, you can punish him, right? Well, Chun-Li is, like, very similar. Same thing. If she goes for this, she's like mad minus. Now I'm gonna turn my off of mash just to show you that it is -8, but if you can create some meaty setups, it'll be a little safer. Still unsafe, but not -8 unsafe. So it's still gonna be a really good move to do because the reward on hit, and it's fast, you get a crouching A. So if you do overhead, you can do crouching A into like spinning bird kick, into legs, into 10 show kicks, whatever you want, she can do, and that's actually pretty cool that they gave her overhead. So definitely a move you're going to be using. She has her back C, which is her double palm strike. And Chun has this move in a lot of Street Fighter games. It's always been a very powerful counter poke move, and it's also just a really good whip punish move in this, even in this game. So I'm gonna make my press this, and as you see in this game, it launches on wild punish. Like when you actually hit somebody with it, it launches. So if you get a wild punish, it will launch the opponent in the air. So you can do something like super simple like that, right? But also it's a counter poke. So if you press it, you see how it's just counter hitting her out of the startup of her move, and then you could just like buffer your special move. So it's still a very good poke. 9 frames is very fast, and on block it's only -4 with pushback, so that's very strong. So -4 with pushback, nobody is going to be able to 4-frame you from this distance, so you'll be okay just pressing this move. She does have her traditional fierce punch from Street Fighter. In this game, it is -5 on block, so you will want to space it for sure. It has a lot of range as always, so it's going to be one of your primary like whip punishes, and it's pretty cool that it's a forward move. So if you're going to whip punish something like this, you can like step into it with that forward input. So I think that that's really strong. And it's a huge wild punish, and you can just dash up and do stand C, crouch C for a big combo. So that's going to be traditional Chun-Li. Like I said, if you play Chun-Li, you already know you're going to be whip punishing people a lot, and that is going to be one of her primary whip punishes. She does have her crouching fears from Street Fighter 6, but in this game it's down forward C, double hit. So of course in a game like this, hyper defense does exist, JDs do exist, so you don't want to get predictable with this move, but you know, you could just put it behind the move like that, get a +3 fireball going, something like that. You could put it behind like Legs, well, you wouldn't want to do it behind like the D version of legs because it's like unsafe, but EX legs can be broken and be neutral. But the thing about D legs, it cannot be broken. But guess what? You can feint it. You can feint legs in this game. So a lot of layers can go behind her crouch C, but if you let it rock, it's -6. So you definitely want to cancel, feint, or do something of that nature, because you don't want to just let that rock. That could be pretty dangerous. Now she has forward B, which this move was in Street Fighter 5. I remember it in Street Fighter 5. I think it was like maybe a command move even in that game, or a medium kick or something of that nature. In this game, it is her forward B. So another move that's just really spaced very well. You can definitely like, you know, space it and hit them for it, but the reward is not high. So I wouldn't be finding myself doing this move too often. I mean, somebody might find some uses for it, but from just testing it right now, I don't really see a huge use for it. But that does not mean, Chun-Li players, that y'all should not explore all of her buttons and see what you can find. Now, she does have down forward B, which is usually her down forward roundhouse in other games. Cross up into +2, so pretty strong, especially because she does have a 5-frame 5A, and then she has a crouch A, same thing. So this is a pretty strong tool to just bait throws, you know, throw off your opponent, walk up on them, do this to bait their throw attempt, or just cross them up, come down with plus frames, and, you know, go from there. You can also use your stand C, because it is a 6-frame, so it'll be a 4-frame move after this. Still pretty powerful. So if you are familiar with using her down for a roundhouse from other games, you would definitely be familiar here using down for B. Now she has 4D. Now I think that this move by far is her best command normal from what I've tested thus far, because this move is an auto shimmy move, and what I mean by that is if somebody tries to tech throw, like let's say Mai tries to tech throw, you walk up and it's gonna hop over the throw like that, because it has airborne frame. So it's gonna hop over the throw, give you a huge wild punish combo. So huge combo, very easy, lots of damage. And the thing that makes this move really good in this game is the fact that it's only -1, meaning it is completely safe to throw this out at point blank. In a lot of Street Fighter games, this move is actually unsafe point blank, especially in like 6. But the fact that you could just throw it out in this game point blank and not get punished is very powerful. And it beats throw tech, and it's just a juicy counter hit setup in general. Like if it hits you, she gets a huge reward off of it. So this is, I think, is one of her best, if not the best, command normal that she has, period, being -1, which is kind of crazy. Now she does have her traditional sweep. Sweeps are good if you can whip punish somebody, because you could just get a, you know, a easy knockdown and go in and start your offense. So the sweep is not like a terrible option to have, just like that, and then you get some Oki going. So sweep is still very powerful. Chun's sweep is good because she actually steps forward with her sweep and moves her forward, so a little easier to, you know, whiff punish your opponent with. Now, she does have her aerial stomps. So she does have stomps. She can cancel stomps at any time into like air legs or whatever you want. Or she can do, you know, the stomp, the traditional stomp combo that she has off of her leg super. So something even as simple as that. She still has stomps. So stomps is going to be some of your aerial enders. And you could just use it for trickery on somebody's like wake up. So air stomp still good. She does have an air throw still. So air throw is very powerful, gives you +22 on knockdown. So plus 22 is good. That means you could probably just dash up. If you dash up, you are plus 6. So that is very strong. Because remember, Street Fighter characters cannot cancel their dashes into buttons. Like, if you press a button, it's not going to come out. You have to let their dash rock. Now, while that might be a weakness and people will look at that as a weakness, it's actually a strength in many ways because, for one, the fact that you cannot cancel the dash actually means everything is auto timed perfectly, just like Street Fighter. So you can actually auto time all of your stuff. With a actual character that can cancel their dash, it can actually mess up your auto time because you might cancel the dash too early because you can instantly cancel it with a button. So it can mess up some auto time setups. So don't always look at the Street Fighter characters as being weak because of that. They're actually still strong because of auto times and stuff like that. Still has a wall jump. So she can still get out of like situations very well in this game. So that's good. If you are cornered, you do have the option of wall jump. And of course, she does come with her jump CC, which is her jump heavy punch target combo in most Street Fighter games that can swat your opponent out of the air if they are jumping with you. So her air-to-air game is very, very powerful. It always has been powerful. So you are definitely going to want to abuse her aerial game for sure. Now, let's talk a little bit more about just her stationary buttons. Like, so Street Fighter characters don't have like close normals and far normals like, you know, the Fatal Fury characters, like the SNK characters. The Capcom characters actually have like just buttons, like they have their, you know, traditional Street Fighter buttons, and that is actually a strength because proxy just doesn't exist. So if I press this, no matter what, it's always going to be this button. Just like if I press our stand C, it's always going to be stand C. It's no close C and far C, you know. So with that being said, this is -1 5 frame. Her stand B is gonna be the money maker. This is the move you're gonna do the most because it's +2 and gives you a huge reward on hit. So even on a block string of 5A, 5B is really good because immediately you can just go into a crouch C, right? So she's gonna have stand C, which is +3, which is huge, and it auto combos into crouch C. So on hit, it'll look something like this. Those combo, and on hit, it'll look something like this. Like, because her frame advantage on close B is +7, so it's actually insane. So her buttons are like actually insane up close. So her crouch buttons are also good because, like I said, they all can chain right back into that stand B. And because characters like Chun-Li and like Ken don't have those close and far normals, they can always just do this. Like, this is always a button. And this button is really, really powerful, like super powerful. It gives me vibes of like how Billy was with his close B and how he still is, because his close B is ridiculous. But like her close B is like the same, like it's super ridiculous. So you're gonna be using a lot of close B to get your offense going. Now her stand D does whiff on crouchers, but this is more for like a whiff punish. Like same thing, like if somebody's whiffing on you, this is more for like a whiff punish, because you get a huge wild position. You see? So use this more so as a whip punish. And then you're gonna use, like I said, her command fears, but this is forward C in this game. But these are just gonna be pressure tools. You're just gonna be pressuring with this a lot. So button wise, she is cooking up close for sure. Her high dodge is really good too, because it's basically her Street Fighter 5 like back medium punch. This move was like her Street Fighter 5 back medium punch, and this move is actually insane, if I say so, because it has a lot of reach on it, and it just goes directly into her D legs. This goes directly into D legs. So this is going to be something you are going to swing at neutral, because remember, these do not come out on block. Like if you do it and you buff her legs, it'll never come out on block. It only comes out on hit. So if I change this to random, you see, that will always combo. But on block, nothing will come out. So that is, if you're just getting into Fatal Fury, that is the perfect thing to know, that if you do a high dodge, you're okay. Just buffer the move, because if it hits, it'll come out. If it doesn't, they'll just block. And then she does have her, I believe this was from Third Strike, like the overhead animation from Third Strike, and that's just the universal overhead. So, like I said, her buttons are gonna seem familiar with you. You're gonna be okay with her buttons. She's a pressure monster, frame trap monster, and you're gonna want to throw a lot. That's Chun-Li in a nutshell. Now let's talk about her special moves. She comes with Kikoken. Now Kikoken, as you see, it looks like it was going full screen, but I was a little closer. So it doesn't go full screen directly if her back is on the wall. That is the light version. Heavier version is faster and stops about mid-ish screen. So with these fireballs, they're just going to control space because they are slow. So you can get behind her fireball pretty well. As you see, I just double dash. Now, cool thing right here. And it's just a wall. This projectile is a wall, so that's how you want to use it. You want to get your spacing, you want to get into that spacing so you can win the match with Chun-Li. Chun could win the match back here like zoning, but zoning isn't as strong in City of the Wolves because Just Defend does exist. There are rev blows that exist, and hers is really good to note. If somebody does shoot a projectile against you, her rev blow has a lot of range. So you can rev blow from about here, which is kind of insane that she can control this much space with her rev blow. Her aerial rev blow is really good too, like super good. So yeah, back to Kikoken though. Kikoken is just going to be space control and like a shield, so you can get in and start your offense. She does have EX Kiko, and EX Kiko does go full screen. It hits twice, and it's a lot faster. So you're going to use it in combos because it is +3 on block. So you are definitely going to be using it on block because, as you see, +3. So that's very powerful, especially because she does have like 6 frame normal, 7 frame normal. And how did I forget about one of the most powerful normals in the game that she has, which is her crouching C, which is slow forward. Basically, her and Ken come with this move, and these moves actually kind of throw off the meta of City of the Wolves because not many characters actually have lows that they can, you know, confirm into big damage, and Chun-Li is one of those characters that can actually get good damage off of hers because she can go low forward into EX Fireball and it always combos. So a low starter in this game is very powerful, and that is a good thing about the Street Fighter characters because they come with that powerful low forward, which is their crouch C in this game. So really, really good. Now, when we talk about legs in this game, light legs is actually safe, -3, really good. Hyper defense does exist, so you definitely have to be careful with ending all of your block strings with legs, but legs is really good because, as you saw, that is a high rev percentage to go to like a 13 off of just like a legs block string. So if your opponent is not very good at defending legs, then yeah, you're in a good spot. Now D legs cannot be broken or anything because as you see, I'm trying to press break. You cannot. It is -8 on block, so you're not going to want to commit. However, D legs on hit launches. So because it launches, it gives you a lot of value mid-screen, corner, wherever, because you get a whole juggle off of it. So it's like super, super good to do it off of like actual combos to do the D version of legs. But you do not want to commit to that on block. Now the thing about Chun-Li, she can feint her legs. So you can do like little tricky block strings with like feint. So like something like this, and then feint it and go for like a throw or something. Now, as you see, it does say -9, but it's all about mind games. So even because something says -9 does not mean that your opponent is going to react in that first frame of that -9. They might hesitate because they think the legs is coming out, and then you can swing. So it's all about playing mind games with the opponent. Now, she can do air legs as well. It can be used as a throw shimmy. it hits all the way down, and it's -2. It could be -4 if you do it too high. EX version is neutral, which is pretty insane. And like I said, it can be used as like a shimmy or somebody like text throw. As you saw, that was +7, which is kind of insane. So you can just get an easy combo. Now, the input in this game is a little trickier because you can't do a full tiger knee. I found myself doing like just instant jump legs for sure. And you do, like I said, get a pretty good combo out of it. So that is an option. Instant legs is very good in this game. I would say it's definitely better in this game than in Street Fighter for sure. The way it functions in this game. Spinning bird kick, of course, another traditional Chun-Li ender. You're gonna mostly do it as a ender to some of your routes because it's just a fast knockdown that you can do, and the EX version actually launches. So the EX version launches and you're airborne, so you can do air legs on the way down, and then you can like go into like a super. Like that. So bird kick is gonna be just a straight up combo filler. You're not gonna throw it out on block or anything like that. You are going to use it as a combo. And she does come with Hazanshu. Cool thing about Hazanshu, in this game you can actually break Hazanshu, so it creates like super layered offense that Chun-Li can do now, because like if you're block stringing, you can reset somebody into a throw or reset them into a shimmy or whatever you want to do. Primary use for Hazanshu is going to be to get over fireballs, but I'll show you on block -2 and -2. So you don't want to be predictable with it, because of course somebody could neutral jump you, they could rev blow you, they could JD you or whatever, but the primary use is going to be to get over projectile. Now, the thing about it in this game, it does push back some, and it's only +6 in this game, so you don't get a huge reward off of Hazanshu. EX Hazanshu, you get a little bit more of a reward because you can immediately just cancel into an EX move, right? So I think that the value of EX Hazanshu is better than the value of regular, because regular Hazanshu, as you see, like I said, it just pushes you back so far versus keeping you close to where you can actually, you know, get a big combo. Because +6 from this distance is just not as strong. So keep that in mind, because her kick quotio is only 8 frames, kick super is 11. So keep that in mind. But the EX version is definitely a banger, and she can break it in this game, so you can use like that. Like you can just flip over it and then get a full punish, a full combo punish. So it's definitely uses, but I would probably break over the projectile and then just get a full combo. 10 show kicks is going to be your primary anti-air. Now the thing about 10 show kicks is, with 10 show kicks, in this game you can do uppercut motion or down. So whatever is more comfortable to you, especially if you're coming from 6, you're going to be probably more comfortable with a down motion. I'm gonna probably be using both, just depends on the situation and like how the match is playing out, how I will use it, but I'm gonna probably be using both if I'm being honest with myself. Now if somebody jumps at you, of course, with 10 show kicks, D version you can break. B version is going to be your invul, and it is 5 frames, which is pretty insane, pretty fast. And this is going to be your break combo. Now with this, you're gonna want to do 10 show, and then you're gonna want to immediately start charging for bird kick. Like something like that will be like a very solid combo that you would want to do for your anti-air game. So when you already input the 10 show, whether it's uppercut or down, you want to just start charging that bird kick immediately, and then you could just go for a bird kick combo and spend some of that rev gauge. So her anti-air game is very strong, and 10 show does have some reach. So I would say, like, AA wise, she's very, very strong and powerful. Like, somebody should not be jumping at you tons with Chun-Li, because she does get a pretty good reward off of, you know, just anti-airing you in general, I would say. And when we talk about her supers, she's going to have Kikosho, which is going to be invul, which is really good because I feel like if somebody jumps at you, the fact that you have Kikosho can just be like a solid anti-air. They would have to try to learn that JD timing to get around it. So I think Kikosho is really good. The more powerful version, same thing. It's just a more powerful version of Kikosho. So same thing, it's invul. Her kick super is going to be the traditional third strike joint, where you're just gonna launch off the juggle and go for something. So if you get like a whip punish, something like that, something simple. So she's gonna have that, or she can do like fierce punches in the air as well. Like off of the stomp, you can do stone fierce punch like that. So you can create like a little air reset situation. And that's traditional Chun-Li stuff. Now, it's not going to be able to go through fireballs unless you use the D version. D version just fully goes through projectiles. So, like, if Mai were to do something like this, and I'm right here, I could just use the D version to pass right through. I can let the animation rock and get a full animation, or I can still do that jumping combo, the jumping stomp combo. So all in all, I think this character is really, really strong. I know some people are gonna have their doubts about some of the Street Fighter characters, but I do think the Street Fighter characters have untapped potential, and Chun-Li, I would definitely say, I think is very strong, and I think she's gonna be able to hang in the current meta. Honestly, we did not get a balance patch, but the good thing about this, it just gives more people more time to like lab out things, figure out things, and evolve the game in general. So I'm excited to play more Chun-Li. This is going to be my main going forward, so please follow the channel if you want to see some Chun-Li action. Thank y'all so much for watching this Chun-Li beginner's guide. Until next time, peeps. Peace.